Thank you so much. Mike had set up in another, we had a little time zone, something, but Mike is out, I think, with his son hitting skateboard parks. Is that correct?
That's true. That's my son. He turned 14 this weekend, and so we came to a trip to Memphis, Tennessee.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, and it's the Mike Windy Show.
Hey, y'all. Mike Windy. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, and Raleigh, Memphis, which is a suburb of Memphis, and there's this really lovely skate park here. And so kids are biking, rollerblading, skating. And so we'd set up in another park on this really cool kind of wave, but it's my son's weekend. So I decided to just follow him wherever he's going to be. And so what we've done instead is we've mic'd this handrail right here. And I'm running it through, for anyone who's interested, I'm running it through this NewX amp, and it just has an app on my phone to allow me to do reverb. But because we're in Memphis, I wanted to start out with and kind of be respectful of the sound culture of Memphis. And so this is a diddly bow that I built out of a football. And so I wanted to, and then to kind of be fair to the skaters in my community, because I grew up a skater. So I've got a truck that I'm going to use as a slide. So we're kind of mashing up some different cultural references here. So I wanted to play a little, I'm just running this through this little amp right now. What I'm going to do now is, and if for anyone it's interested, so this is a tobacco stick from my grandmother's property, a couple hours north of here on the Tennessee-Kentucky border. So my grandfather grew up as a farming tobacco, and so these stakes were staked when the tobacco gets cut and dried. So if you're interested in how I built this, it's a tobacco stick as the neck. It's got a tuning peg, one little tuning peg. These are about $1. And then this just runs over this little thing. And so I'm always fascinated with the history of diddly bows. Is one of the kind of early in like music culture in the American South, and how they were early makers. And so imagine a guitar coming through a town and someone wanting that but not being able to buy it. And so, they would often nail a nail to the doorpost and then another nail, and they would pull baling wire and make that talk. So a lot of the original diddly bows were played in a vertical fashion with a neck bottle kind of cut off of the bottle of the neck of a booze bottle or a Coke bottle. And then we'd use that as a slide. And eventually those came off the wall and came down and got made into like a lap or one string guitar called a diddly bow, made famous by the name kind of connected to Bo Diddley. But there's a lot of great blues players in Memphis that played that. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mic this and turn this amp on. And so anytime that gets hit, let me make sure you can see it. Anytime this gets hit, there'll be sound coming from here. So there's a community of folks here. I've gone around and talked to some of the folks who are here and said, if you want to, you can be part of this process. Let me make sure my amp's working. technical difficulty here. All right, y'all, I'm going to work on the fly. So it looks like my amp batteries are dead, and I'm going to mic my skateboard, and I'm going to take this on the road. There you can hear. Let's go check out what all the skaters are up to in Memphis. Hey, y'all want to be part of something? It's broadcasting around the world. Just the last musician who was on here was from Hamburg, Germany. So what I need you to do, can you just flip your bike upside down real quick? We're going to mic the wheels and we're going to play the wheels of your bike. Does that make sense? It's not going to hurt your bike at all. Do my bike. Okay, grab your bike, any bike. All right, we're improvising here. The title of this was Improvisational Music from Memphis. So yeah, guys, just flip it over. What's your name? All right, let's see what's going to happen here. So what we're going to do is we're going to mic. All right, what's going on? So look, grab, see if you can find straws or something. So spin this. Yep. All right, so we got some smiles here. So we're spinning this bike. All right, so guys, what we need to do is we're gonna look for like just bits and pieces of trash, like straws or something. You have to pick some nasty, and then we'll use them to play the wheel. Does that make sense? All right, so we have found some fellow makers. We got folks finding bottles. Oh yeah, right here. What's your name, my man? Brooks. Brooks is going to play now. Brooks, do it to it, man. What we got to do? Watch Brooks. Oh, here we go. Go ahead. What's your name? All right. That's awesome. Here we go. Oh, that'll work, yeah. Try it. Let's see it.
My man, Kate.
All right, here. Let's do it.
He already got a water bottle.
Oh, what? I wonder what will happen with the water. That's going to be curious. I like that investigation of trying to figure out.
Oh, you gotta spin it for you. I'm not hot. How long y'all go?
Minutes, so we can keep doing it. So that's nice. All right, so. So the metal makes it nice with the metal on the metal.
Got a new bike?
What's your name? Keyshawn. So Keyshawn was. Oh, let me hear that. It was, so yep. So give him another spin there.
Do another spin. What's up?
Wait.
All right, now we're doing everything in the park. It's exciting.
Go in the room. You gotta go this way.
Hold on. You gotta no.
Hang down. Yeah, you gotta stay with it.
Sounds so good.
Want some?
What a thing somebody had. I just had it.
Oh, that's nice. That's soft. That's interesting. That's really good. What's your name? Memphis? All right, look at that. His name is Memphis, like the city, the namesake. All right, we got a straw here. Let's see it happen. Good, man. That was fantastic. I think I maybe lost their interest. Oh, let me show you something. Let's
Let me do it one more time.
Oh yeah. They're still finding stuff. Here we go.
I don't mess with the price. Smack it with that. Gonna bend myself.
You can clip your bag like here. Now reach in there.
Oh, it's like a mushroom. Grab the bag.
Yeah, do it.
You want to do it again, bud? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Ready? With your fingers, you can find a Keyshawn, right?
You want to do some? Let me see your slide. Let me see your slide. I want to see my slide. Let me see.
Go give me a hug. You gonna give me a hug?
Come on, we got to figure out if the shoe works. Oh, that's soft.
Too long.
Hey, y'all, thank you so much.
Can I do one more thing?
Man, absolutely. Can you think of anything else that'll, all right, let's keep going.
Do you make money off of it?
Sean, let's try something. Let's mic this instead. Now, do that and stick that in the, yep.
Oh, wow.
Let's, miking the object itself is another really cool strategy. So if you would have mic'd that wrench, I'm curious what would have happened. Does that make sense?
Hold up. I got
It just gives you a whole different thing. What you got?
Hold up. Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, mic the bottle. So just clip it on the inside of the bottle.
Let me do something.
All right, these guys are
Hey,
now,
Mike.
these kids are really interested.
Hey, Mike, one question
Yes.
for you. Can you hear me? I think some of the sound is cutting out. What someone said is maybe because Zoom is muting the background noise. Can you turn on original sound? In your audio settings on Zoom.
Hang on just a second.
Because someone else said maybe what was happening is that, yeah.
It's like one dude. This is like
I'm on my son's phone.
Yeah, we're not sure if that's an option on the phone.
Hey, Joe. So have you guys just been hearing mush?
Well, it starts out and then it sort of stops. I mean, we could hear, yeah. I think, but I mean, Ashley, though, I have to say, I love the fact that you're getting kids involved. That's awesome.
I am just met. Joe, can you go to Zoom and see if you can do, when you go to the sound settings, see if you can do a setting for original audio. Y'all are doing great. Hey guys, you can do as much as you want. They just said they're super excited that you guys are part of it. So. I don't know how Zoom works.
And Mike, there might be something that says suppress background noise below.
Oh, okay. Hey Joe, can you just stick with me just for 2 seconds? Will it be under meeting settings?
Gosh, I don't know. Sudu, do you know if it's under meeting settings? Yes.
Okay.
You should be able to get to an audio settings, and in there, there are a bunch of different options, but the best one is to, there's one that says show in-meeting option to enable original sound from microphone. And if you click that, you disable all of Zoom's helpful muting functionality, which
okay.
sucks.
Thank you, Joey, too. And happy birthday, Joey.
Yeah, in our meeting settings, we don't get that. We just get touch-up appearance, show my video.
See something that says high fidelity music mode? Anything like that?
No, when I go to meeting settings, I just get meeting topic, always show meeting controls, touch up my appearance.
Oh, Univac says on the iPhone, click the gear icon, go to meeting settings, and use original audio. Thanks, Univac.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go to, do I go to my, I don't have a gear setting. I just have the 3 little dots.
Oh, he probably means your regular iPhone settings.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Joe, can we get, okay. All right, Joey's going to figure it out. I love that y'all are doing it that way. That's cool. So while we're figuring out the settings, my new collaborators have moved their mic to the back of the bicycle and are figuring out another way to do some really cool audio, which is exciting.
Nice.
Y'all doing great. You got that Instagram account? I do. I can connect with you on Instagram and you can then see the video.
Oh, actually, hey, Mike, sorry,
Yep.
my mistake. It's not in the iPhone, it's in the Zoom app.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh, so when you go to the Zoom app, there's the gear in the upper left-hand corner before you enter. I'm wondering if you're getting it because you're already in the meeting.
Yeah, I feel like I would have to leave the meeting to do that.
Do you guys want to try to leave the meeting and then come back, try it again?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Joey. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Okay, we'll be here. So the article actually that I shared with everyone, if you get a chance, check it out. A woman by the name of Andrea, who's a research, she's getting her PhD at UC Berkeley, and she's written an article about kind of the emotional contagion that one gets, and she's been tracking Maker Faire, and she's gonna actually kind of jump in and maybe be a little bit a part of our community. And the article is quite interesting, and she talked about she when she was getting her, let's say, I think her master's at Harvard, she went to Artisans Asylum and kind of just worked with and hung out with several of the makers, Guy, who many of you probably know Guy. And she said she even talked to folks like at Maker Faire, and I think it was the Bay Area Maker Faire, where there was a group of mathematicians that were next to the hula hoopers. And originally they were like, I don't know, we don't really want to be next to the hula hoopers. They, you know, what do they have to do with making? And by the end of the Maker Faire, they realized that the hula hoopers had figured out the physics and all the math involved in hula hooping and had converted the mathematicians. And anyway, it's an interesting article. It reinforces a lot of things that I've always felt, but never have had research behind it. And I love the fact that she's wanting to jump in and be a little bit involved in our community too. So anyway, just some reading for you. And next up after this, let's see, we've got about 10 more minutes. We'll see what they can do. We are going to go to Bandy with Thaddeus. And for those of you, Thaddeus, is there any instructions like for people maybe while they can preload their phone?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, that sounds great.
Perfect. I've been taking all the notes from everybody on sound. Yeah, so if you go to www.bandy.camp on your mobile device, and then we'll stay on the Zoom meeting here on your computer or your other device, you should be able to get in now, and you can follow the instructions there. But as soon as we start, in about 7 or 8 minutes, I'll re-explain how to get connected to everyone as well.
Excellent, thank you. And I think Mike has rejoined.
I am back.
Excellent. Okay, we're ready for you.
Can you tell if that audio is any better?
Can you maybe try putting something by a sound maker?
Sure. So what's happened while we were doing all this is these young guys have changed the format of where the microphone's at to the back of the bike. That way they can control the crank. So they're controlling everything through the crank, which makes it easier for them to not have to like spin it with their hands. And then so they've essentially figured that out. Can you hear that audio better now, Sherry?
I think it sounds good.
And so what's really fascinating is, like, I literally just met these folks, these young guys, and they're already figuring out, like, they're coming up and they're saying, what is that? And then immediately starting. And I love the idea that he didn't like spinning the wheel with his hands. He likes the idea of, like, using the bike as a instrument, creating just all that torque. And it's just sending out a really cool sound. I'm going to get the amp a little closer.
Okay. Yep, much better. Oops, well, it seemed to cut out a little bit there, but you know what? I have to say, good for you. You got these kids engaged. Awesome. Major points in my book.
Well, I think it's the power, right, of positioning kids and giving them permission to experiment and to make things.
Absolutely.
We were here yesterday, and so these kids had seen me once, but we had actually not chatted at all until I just walked up to them as I was figuring out that my other amp had died. And now a community of these young makers is I've literally walked away from them. They don't need me anymore. Which is very
well, there you go. There you go. We'll have them go to, well, thank you. And so Mike, just before we go, why don't you tell us a little bit about your art and what you do with sound? Because I know we shared the image of you in a hotel shower making sound with the clothesline.
Sure. So I'm thank you all. I'm so delighted to get to be part of this through Makey and being invited by Colleen. My interest in creating sound sculptures and sound art is just the fascination of just that auditory experience of realizing that on a day-to-day basis, as we're walking through this world, we are creating these tones and these notes and these chords that many times we just don't pay attention to. So I go to the Big Ears Music and Arts Festival every year in Knoxville, Tennessee. That has really, really helped me just kind of pay more attention to all the beautiful sounds that are around us all the time. And so one of the things that I love to do is just have microphones, like contact microphones. Korg, the company, has a little clip mic that I think it's used to really kind of tune guitars for folks when they're on stage, but I just use it, which is what those young guys are using right now, is they're just clipping it to their bike. It just allows a really easy connection. So for me, sound art is about these kinds of improvisational experiences. And most of the time when I've done these as performances, I'm really fascinated with the community kind of connection. So suddenly I am around a group of kids who did not know me at all. And now we have this connection because I showed them how to pay just a tiny bit closer attention to sound. Excellent. And they are fascinated. They are still sitting over there, sitting down around a group of them, staring at this bike wheel. And that's the great idea that because of what we did today, that they would have thought that they would have stared at a bike wheel for 15 minutes. It just blows me away. It's just the power of what we are kind of all up to.
No, that's for sure. I mean, I think, and even, well, you should definitely turn them on to makermusicfestival.com and give them inspiration for where they can go with it. But it's even been the important thing with Maker Faire, showing and just spending some time. Like, look at that, because in the beginning, those kids were kind of like, "Who are you? You know, what are you doing? You know." And so bravo. And actually thank Joey, because, you know, we appreciate us kind of crashing his birthday party. And Thaddeus, who's coming up next, has something called Bandy, which I don't know even if you want to try it or show the kids, but actually from your phone, from the Bandy app, you're playing an instrument in his location. And Thaddeus said next year we're going to have a skate park band.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
So there you go. Something to work on. But thank you so much. And actually, and Loriano said, yeah, experiments and videos of people doing things like you brings awesomeness to this world. So we all very much agree. Thank you for setting up twice, and thank you for coming to us from the field. Actually, I kind of like that.
You know, if that mistake hadn't happened, I never would have had this opportunity. And so I did say it was improvisational from Memphis, and it certainly was improvisational from Memphis. So I'm delighted by it. So I really appreciate it, Sherry, and everyone involved with this festival.
We are too.
And we'll letting us be part of it.
We'll do more. We'll do more. You're in our circle now. So.
All right, y'all.
Okay,
hey, y'all
thank
say goodbye
you.
to the world over here.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.